What's up, guys? We have a cold steel AD15 Lite to talk about today, and here is the actual part number. This was loaned in from my good buddy Bobby Legs. Now, Bobby Legs has a watch review channel, and I met him in a watch group, and we've become good friends. We've traded some knives back and forth. He's lent me some watches. You know, just an all-around good guy, and he just hit 2,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, so go check him out. If you're into watches at all, go check him out because he's a good guy, and he talks about some really cool stuff, and he does some live streams with some other guys, and pretty active channel for sure. So I have done some other AD15 videos. I had a custom from Demko Knives. I also had the cold steel AD15, not the light version. And now I've got this one. And I will put a link down below. I don't know if I have a cold steel playlist, or I will link to at least one of those other videos down below. If I can find them both, I'll just link them both or whatever. These are still available. I didn't go and look and see if there was an Amazon link or anything, but they are available out and about, and they're in that $135, $150 range, depending on where you find it. So let's talk about the specs. 5 1/8 inches closed, just a hair over 8.5 inches open. And let me just wipe this off because I realize that it's all smudged up. See if that helps. Sure. And let's see, the blade is 3.72 inches with a 3.55 inch cutting edge. The steel is AUS 10. Blade thickness is 0.152. Overall thickness is 0.58 minus the clip, of course. Comes in at 6.1 ounces. And it runs on, I believe, the same thing that the standard AD15 from Cold Steel uses, which is a Teflon and a phosphor bronze washer on each side. Okay, one of each. It's an odd thing, but that's what some makers do, and sometimes that's just how the knives go together, right? I'm not a knife maker, so I'm not going to question. Okay, this does have the Griv X handles by Cold Steel, and this is made in the Cold Steel factory in Taiwan. Where exactly, I'm not sure, right? But this is the same place that they are actually now making the Demko AD20.5s, which I'm still trying to get my hand on one. I've got the AD20 in G10 and an AD20 in titanium. And I have a line on an AD20.5 I might be able to borrow to do a video on. So it's not probably something that I want anyway, but here is the blade, AD15 Lite. The Griv X scales over the steel liner or steel frame, if you will. It's done really well, and this is right up my alley in size-wise. Got the Cold Steel, AUS 10, and made in Taiwan, or just Taiwan, but you know what that means. Very cool clip. The clip is nothing special, but it just works great. This whole knife works really well. And this is their Scorpion lock that Demko designed and came up with. It's honestly not my favorite lock. It works great. It's super strong. There is a big spring back here. So when you lift up on this edge, it's depressing a spring back in this area, which holds it closed because there is a ramp here on the blade, and then this stop pin literally drops into that cutout for the lockup. So it's super solid. It drops all the way in. And as you're holding the knife, you're actually putting more pressure downward. So there's even less chance of the lock failing, right? So it's a super, super strong lock. And it's easy to manipulate. It's different. It's not like a traditional flipper or, a frame lock or a liner lock. So it is different. Some will argue that it's much safer because at no time is your fingers crossing the cutting edge of the blade, okay? Other than when you're using it. But when you go to close it, you're just closing it and the blade is falling down. On a typical liner lock, you are depressing the liner or the frame if it's a frame lock, and you are closing the blade literally on your thumb. Kind of, right? I mean, in this particular one, the flipper tab stops on my thumb. I move my thumb out of the way, and then you close it. The Hellraiser that has no flipper tab, yeah, if I just kept going, the blade is right into my hand. Okay? So there is some inherent potential to be bit. A lot of times we talk about, oh, that knife bit me. Oftentimes that's what we're talking about, is when you go to close it, you didn't get your thumb out of the way fast enough. Well, you can't screw that up with the Scorpion lock. Okay? It's a thing. It's a very cool knife. It is still a little on the heavy side for being the light version. And it's definitely a fingerprint and smudge magnet. But if you're using it, and this one is really actually very sharp. So it's a cool knife. So let's do a couple size comparisons here with the Sharpie, the Delica. Since we had these out, the Kubi. How about the Waypoint? Since it looks very similar in colors. How about a damned design that I have not even filmed yet? That's going to be the one I film next when I'm actually done filming this one. And the Hellraiser, because, well, Hellraiser. So there you go, guys. The AD15 Lite from Cold Steel, designed by Demko Knives. So let me know what you think about the Scorpion lock. I will put a link down below to the more custom AD15 and the standard Cold Steel AD15. There will also be a link to Bobby Leggs' channel. So please go check him out, show some love, because I do greatly appreciate him loaning this in. And I have another Cold Steel in the box that he also loaned in that you'll be seeing another video coming out soon on as well. So thanks a lot, everyone. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow.